Now on Denver 7 News, the clouds are on the move across Colorado with flash flood and tornado warnings.
Severe storm watch continues until 9 p.m. We'll check the latest radar.
Plus, a tubing trip turns into tragedy after a creek claims 2 lives this week.
They don't understand the strength of the river, even as something as light as it is right now.
The warning for people who are wanting to float in the rivers and creeks this summer.
And months of preparing for a popular festival now put at risk with a bolt of lightning.
He's afloat right now, but the back end has a massive hole in it.
How Coloradans can step in to help. Clouds and gray skies took over today, but that didn't stop people from enjoying the day at Denver's Cheeseman Park. And now thunderstorms are developing rapidly over the Front Range and Eastern Plains, creating large hail, high winds, and heavy rain. Good evening, and thank you so much for joining us. I'm Ann Trujillo.
And I'm Jessica Porter. It's a weather action day, so let's have Chief Meteorologist Mike Nelson join us. Mike, there is a tornado warning that happened earlier.
We had a handful of tornado warnings scattered across the Eastern Plains throughout the afternoon. No official observations of tornado touchdowns, but lots of rotating thunderstorms. We have a severe thunderstorm watch remains in effect all of northeastern Colorado until 9 o'clock tonight. And in the Denver metro area, although we've not had any severe storms, there are now some new storms forming, some pretty good rain falling out over Golden right now, and that's going to move into the metro in the next half an hour to 45 minutes. Farther to the north, on the Calwood burn scar in Boulder County, a flash flood warning continues there, and that will be valid until 8 o'clock for tonight. And out on the Eastern Plains, we had some tornado warnings out in the Fort Morgan area. They've been lifted now, but we're watching this really ominous looking storm not far from Akron. The light blue that you see, that indicates hail inside of that thunderstorm cell. We have a camera in Akron, part of our exclusive Viero camera network, and look at that thing. This is looking to the southwest from the city of Akron, and that is a very ominous cloud formation. Not a warned storm yet, but I'll keep an eye on it because that thing is a wicked-looking cloud. These are the clouds in the Denver over the last 4 hours in time-lapse. You get the storms kind of coming and going a little bit, and there is more rain and thunderstorm activity moving in. So we have the watch until 9. Heavy rain, hail, lightning. There have been some funnel cloud possibilities. That's why we've had a few of those tornado warnings in effect. Looks like it'll calm down tonight. More storms are on the way for Thursday before things heat up as we head into the weekend. The full 7-day forecast in about 10 minutes.
All right. Thank you, Mike. And longtime Coloradans know that hail is a concern in July. Colorado, along with Nebraska and Wyoming, make up what's called Hail Alley. We average 7 to 9 hail days per year, and according to the National Severe Storms Laboratory, the reason why this area gets so much hail is that the freezing levels in the high plains are much closer to the ground than they are at sea level, where hail has plenty of time to melt before reaching the ground. The typical season lasts from mid-April to mid-August, and hailstorms can be damaging. According to the Rocky Mountain Insurance Information Association, the costliest hailstorm to hit Colorado was on May 8th, 2017, doing about $2.3 billion in insured damage here in the metro.
Today is a good day to bring in the car just in case. Well, Denver 7 Digital team has put together an in-depth look at Colorado's severe weather season and why our July storms are different in Colorado than other states. You can find it on our website, thedenverchannel.com. On our sunny summer days, Coloradans want to capitalize on chances to cool down, like getting out on one of the many rivers or creeks throughout our state.
But if you're not in a designated tubing area, it can be dangerous out there. Jefferson County deputies say 2 people have died in a span of 4 days after a couple of groups went tubing in the same area near Tunnel 1 along US 6.
Denver 7's Colette Bordelon joins us live now, and Colette, officials are saying these rivers and creeks can be treacherous.
They really can be. Where I am right now in Golden, though, it's one of the better spots for any rafting, tubing, kayaking here along Clear Creek. You can see right now we just got some pretty heavy rain out here. That water is rushing there behind me. But as you head west into the mountains, the canyon gets narrow. There are more rocks and chances for accidents to happen. Unfortunately,
rushing along the river is a community that loves the current.
Literally thousands of miles.
But those who know it well,
I mean, I got wife and kids. I want to make sure I come home.
Say there always needs to be a respect for the rapids.
They think it's going to be like the lazy river at Elitch's, but less expensive.
John Baskin has spent most of his life on the water in some way.
My river name is Broken Paddle John in all seriousness.
He helps out at Golden River Sports in the summer.
A lot of people think about jobs and stuff as a grind, but this is actually just selling fun.
What he doesn't like is when people renting a tube decide not to take a life jacket and helmet with them.
They don't understand the strength of the river, even as something as light as it is right now.
Today is a yellow flag day, but there's no time or stretch of the river that's guaranteed safe. In fact, on days when it's yellow are when the fire department makes the most rescues.
No one goes on the river thinking, this is my last day here, but it very much happens, and it very much can be avoided.
Rebecca McGeehee is a kayaker who's been a guide, and when she was working last summer in California, saw someone jump into the water without a life jacket.
I was actually the first one to respond. I jumped in, I pulled his body out. He was pulseless. We administered CPR for 26 minutes before the paramedics were able to get to us, and he did not make it.
It's something that will always stick with her.
When we go on the river, we're taking a certain amount of personal responsibility for ourselves and our actions.
You can get several hundred days out of a PFD.
And something Baskin wants to help prevent.
Even if they have proper gear, it can still claim lives, which is a real tragedy.
Because even though there's no surefire way to stay safe on the water,
I know the suntan's not as nice, but you know, it's really nice to live to have a suntan tomorrow.
there are ways to prepare for whatever Mother Nature has in store.
The two people who died along Clear Creek in a span of only 4 days were both in the same area. It's up west into the mountains along U.S. Highway 6, right there near Tunnel 1. Now, with some of the people I talked with today, they were wondering why life jackets aren't required out on the water. But those with Jeffco Open Space say that's really difficult to enforce, and it gets into a gray area. They have to balance out safety with the opportunity for everyone to enjoy outdoor recreation. Live in Golden, Colette Bordelon, Denver 7.
Colette, thank you. A Colorado funeral home operator is pleading guilty in connection to a body part selling scheme. 44-year-old Megan has officially pleaded guilty to mail fraud. According to the agreement, the feds say Hess stole bodies and body parts of hundreds of victims and then sold them for medical research. The Denver 7 investigative team reported that Hess operated Sunset Mesa Funeral Home in Montrose from 2010 to 2018. The funeral home has since been shut down.
People are starting to leave the Rainbow Family Gathering in the Route National Forest near Craig. Officials say they have made several arrests relating to fentanyl. They also tell us more than 400 citations have been given. The U.S. Forest Service says there were close to 7,200 people there yesterday, and that was down from 9,000 a few days ago. The Forest Service is meeting with Rainbow Family members who will stay to clean up the area, and the gathering officially ends this week. And the Colorado Dragon Boat Festival is less than 3 weeks out, and when Denver 7 heard our partners who put on the event were struck with a major blow, we knew we had to do something.
Here's Denver 7's Russell Haythorne with their story and how you can help.
It's great team building, camaraderie.
It is a festival first and foremost.
And it's one way for the Asian culture to share our culture back with our Denver community.
But also a fierce competition.
It is Olympic level, and they fly.
Among those who see this as a celebration of history and a lifestyle.
Some of them have been practicing since January. They will race either 4 races or 3 races, depending on which division that they're in.
The annual Colorado Dragon Boat Festival is the largest of its kind in the U.S. and draws competitors from around the state and across the nation.
The ones that are really serious about the sport, in fact, like the people that are out here now, a lot of them travel to other states.
And for race director Lorraine Eloriaga, it is about sharing a unique cultural phenomenon dating back centuries.
It's actually a celebration that had started, thousands of years ago in China. The townspeople adored and loved this poet so much that when he drowned himself, they didn't want the fish to eat his body, so they would beat on the water in the river to chase the fish away with paddles.
Hence the paddling today.
It's a lot of fun, and it's growing pretty quickly.
So you can imagine their disappointment when they discovered one of their boats was dead in the water.
Our blue boat was struck by lightning, and we lost one of our crucial boats.
Not great luck, especially considering the Sloan's Lake Festival was canceled in 2020 due to COVID, 2021 due to toxic algae, and now a lightning strike threatening to sink the festival for a 3rd straight year.
It's not repairable. I mean, he's afloat right now, but the back end has a massive hole in it. It would sink and take on water.
The team is now scrambling, trying to figure out the logistics of getting a new boat from Cedar Rapids, Iowa, back here to Denver by race day in 2.5 weeks.
We found the boats. Now we just need to find the money and go pick them up. Like they're getting ready to go around the bend.
For now, teams continue to practice on the boats that are still afloat as they seek donations for a replacement.
It would save the races. We're a nonprofit organization. We don't. Our funds are very minimal. It'd be $12,000. We are asking for donations.
Organizers say one way or another, the show must go on.
We're here, we're back, we're ready, we're excited. We have so much planned for everybody.
At Sloan's Lake, Russell Haythorne, Denver 7.
So here's where you come in. Denver 7 Gives has set up a fund to help the Colorado Dragon Boat Festival. Right now, head to thedenverchannel.com, click on Denver 7 Gives, then donate now. Look for the drop-down Help Replace Damaged Dragon Boat. Donations are tax deductible and 100% of the donations go to help those in our community.
Coming up, a Colorado beer company is forced to close their doors after a shipping company leaves them in financial ruin.
We will probably need to file bankruptcy because at this point we don't have the money to pay that.
The international scam that's having these owners warn other small companies.
Plus, why dog owners should be extra cautious around certain bodies of water their pets might be tempted to swim in.